Good day, race fans, and welcome to the recap video of the NASCAR 25 Intentional Wreck Podcast League race. I said that out of order, but I've been discombobulated and sick. So yeah, let's talk about Indy. What's on the line for this race here? First off, we've got the in-season tournament finale, the 18 versus the 43. Head to who doesn't like it? Guys that are top of the leaderboards and the standings. Both are race winners. This is a powerhouse battle for the IST tournament. And of course, this is the race 13. There's 3 races left in the regular season, including this one, as everybody is trying their best to get into the playoffs, as it'll be the top, I believe, 12 drivers is what we got. So the top 12 drivers in the league will make the playoffs on points. So a lot on the line here. And let's go ahead and pop in and see how things went. So going green here from my perspective, there was certainly a lot going on. As you can see here, a lot of guys were not prepared for how loose and crazy the cars, just chaos everywhere, bodies everywhere. And you're going to see me make a crucial mistake. I'm going to start out with criticizing myself here before I criticize anybody else, as we got racing here. Big wiggle out of me. This thing is squirrely. So I get a 3 wide call, and I get a clear low. Probably should store the shit out of me. And I get 3 wide call again. And I heard clear, but it said clear outside. And I thought that it was me, gamer tag, and the car to the outside of me. So I'm thinking clear all around. I don't even see this little red tail light of JTV Mad Cheeks. And of course, I just drive us both down.
Oh, there goes somebody.
So that isn't excusing it. Just first lap, I probably need to chill out just a little bit here early in the race. I get that that's tough, and in a place like Indy where things can get fanned out, assuming with the spotter. So, before I start calling anybody else out, there's a my bad. Fortunately, I did not get a call inside at all. He recovered, but yeah, that's on me, my bad. Let's go see how the leaders were racing in this first stage. We're on board here with Snugs. A lot of throwback schemes, so we'll highlight this one. Ooh, 74 is going to get up into Snugs. You can see dense fog in that Dale Earnhardt Sr. Wrangler throwback. The 18 here is in a Kyle Busch M&M throwback. You know, there was a point in this race I really felt like Hellseeker was going to get his first win. We'll take a look at what happened later, but these guys kind of the first initial 3 breakaway. Big lift there from Snugs. And then, of course, the battling right behind the rearview mirror of these guys just fighting. All right, looks like these leaders get single filed out. Let's go take a look if we can find anybody else's perspective these opening laps. So I wasn't able to find a view of it, but we got our first caution of this race at about lap 6. And interesting with the stage being a little bit shorter, it's time for people to, obviously, as you can see here, go in, lower, and make their adjustments. I want to highlight something that JJ Franken said, which is, guys, if you can't handle this 15 PSI, this low PSI on the tires with how loose it is on a track like this, maybe don't. As you can see here, we're going to see what this restart looks like from the perspective of the 24, who had himself a pretty decent day, if I'm not mistaken. Go pull up my... So we'll see here, restarting around mid-pack, 14th. He's got hot lap Jimmy to the inside in the 9. See if we can't get any eyes on some throwback schemes. I know the 81 was running a Gordon throwback scheme, it looked like. Shanzi right behind him is in a Dale Jr. throwback scheme to the Amp Energy. All right, some banging here with Space-Time Jumper. Look at the big fanning out there at the front. We'll go take a look at that restart here, but Here's some 4 wide. Car gets shoved up right. Oof. Dilly squeezes Dilly gamer tag and Nick up there. Oh man, there's a big shove from the 34 up in the Hellseeker. That's going to wall Dilly too and move him back a bit. No, there's some contact behind them. I would say relatively clean here at the end of the stage. Let's go on board with the leaders and see what was going on with those guys, because they certainly had an interesting battle. All right, so this is your last couple laps here. You've got Plasik, Hunwee. You see Snugs gets real tight in there into the wall.
Outside now.
So these two are going to follow through here.
Outside door.
Ooh, dooring here. 18 and the 3. We're on board with Dense Fog right now, your points leader.
Clear outside.
Well, actually, Snugs might be the points leader at this
All you
point.
got now.
White flag here, final race. Let's see, Hunwee, an opportunity to win one of his... Yeah, I don't know if he has a stage win this year. Worked his way up. But at Indy, you want to be second because of the use of that draft on this long straightaway. So here, look, Dense gets a good exit of the corner. Hunwee a little bit tight, wasn't able to get back into the throttle as much. Here, look at this. This is a good veteran move.
Clear low. Car outside.
This is the move here by Dense, right? Instead of just throwing it under, and he knows that Hunwee's going to throw a block, fakes left, gets him off the wall, gets hard right,
Clear low.
and then stays right. Well, he does make a little bit of a move, but at this point we're diving into corner entry. Really upset Hunwee on corner entry. Good space given by both of them here. And then he just kind of sticks it in this turn and gets the good momentum. And that was it.
Clear up top.
Hunwee doesn't really have an opportunity. So that's your race for the first stage. I thought that was a really solid race between those 4. You know, Plasik was up there as well as Snugs gets up into the wall. Hellseeker finishes 3rd. Spacetime Jumper with his best stage win. Or stage position so far with 4th, and Plasik in 5th for the stage. So good start there, but then
pit road's open this time.
Then it goes bad as everybody's here to make their adjustments.
Here's
so on board here we can see that 24 throwback to the right of JTB Top Gun. Big fan of that. Hunwee retains the... Well, actually, he didn't win the stage, but somehow got in front. I think there's that glitch of pits, or maybe it was fuel. Who knows? But
car high. Inside now.
In the grass there. These restarts, it's real tough to gauge this corner.
Clear low.
A big move there by Kaufman. Obviously racing the 18-port position. Now they're right next to each other. Actually, I think that's Plasik he's next to at this point. Let's see what these moves look like. Hellseeker up there pushing JTB. This clean racing up front. Top Gun to the lead. Oh, in the grass goes Fog.
One outside.
That'll hurt his corner.
Clear outside.
This is big boy racing up front. Look at this clear up. Has to choose. Oh, he goes middle. Says, I don't want to draft with you guys. I want this. Plasik is going to push on me, and this is the moment right here.
Car low. Clear up top.
I think I'm going to have to call out my own teammate on this one.
3 wide. We lost the lead. Let's get it back.
Let's see if we can find a different perspective of that. So here's the closest perspective I had. Those guys were already 3 wide, and you see here the 43 jumps out low and enters lower than anybody. I can't quite tell if he's technically underneath them. If he's underneath. Looks like he's behind. That's Hunwee, who's the bottom. They're 3 wide up there. And Hunwee does get tight. So this is where I'm going to blame my teammate. And again, accountability across the league is, did Nick hit him? No. But also in this league, there's a lot of reaction to actions. And I think Hunwee got a little spooked at this car with that much pace getting underneath him into the corner and didn't want to get hit. As a result, he himself drifted up the track into Dense. He definitely initiated the contact, and that sucks, and we'll talk about Hunwee later. But I would just say let's be a little bit careful about those moves Again, accountability. If we're gonna ask you guys to be conscious, same deal for me. I gotta be, in that opening clip, we gotta be way better about seeing, who's around us and being conscious. Especially if I'm gonna run the in-car camera, that's on me. I cannot run the in-car camera and see Mad Cheek. So that's all we're gonna say here. But again, that being said, this reaction gets up into shout out Top Gun here, who lifts out of it and goes, "I don't want none of that." And as a result, doesn't look like he's affected too much as he get by it. Oh, no, he can't. A little bit of arc braking on that. Everybody's scrambling. Dense fog spinning in front of the field. Oof. Corey kind of saves the 24 here and we get ourselves a caution. All right, so coming out of that back of the field are me and the rest of the idiots who have wrecked each other.
Do I get done better?
Conway in the bottom, fog in front of me. Obviously, look at the chaos. Fat Randy almost spins it, and then I just get demolished. Oh my god, I just got destroyed. So I don't know what happened here with the Hunwee. Obviously, it looks like he just lost it, and it was just purple. Immediately.
Oh.
So after the first stage starting out rough, I get lucky here, a caution occurs, and I'm saved. So let's go to the next restart.
Oh, no. I was asking Hunwee who hit him into me.
I went in the Hunwee's chat, I thought somebody hit him into me. Alright, so back here again with the 3 car. So big check up here. Hunwee gets down at grass, comes up and takes out Snugs, and then as he rejoins, he clips Stent. So a 2-for-1 combo. Oh, 3-for-1. 3-for-1 combo. And that ends the second stage. So not a pretty end to that second stage.
Hunwee got Snugs.
Let's go take a look at what happens in this third final stage of the race. Actually, I want to show Dilly Toon's perspective of this race. Dilly Toon returning back to us after some months abroad. There's Hunwee just grabbing him, and he thinks he's safe. Oh, it's Dilly that got me.
There's not a lot I can do.
Let's go to stage 3. All right, we are at the beginning of stage 3 here. We've got Dilly who pit, but I guess did not get tires or something because he might have just got tires. So he's all the way up to the front. So let's see how this restart goes. As we've got Killjoy and Plastic right behind this group of 4. Mad Cheeks and Bumblebee. And of course, the 24 car.
Somebody's just.
All right, let's go take a look at that. Let's go take a look at why did he get spun here. All right, from the mirror here, the 43's in the corner. Oh yeah, so he just gets a little loose and Plastic gets underneath it, goes 3 wide. I don't know if that's the place to go 3 wide. The downside about this race and what I think I saw was just this restart entry into 1 and 2 was some guys were getting tight, some guys are getting loose, and then you're just getting driven over. There's no reason that it should be 3 wide right now in this turn. And then you can see here as he gets even spun that. So the 43 was under the 24. Plastic shot the middle when Dilly got a little bit loose. I get that there's no tires, but we're running over people a little bit here. Dilly didn't really do anything outside to get a little bit to the outside on entry. And then at this point he's getting ran over. And I think we gotta lift a little bit there, boys. All right, so coming to green here. I think this might have been that exact wreck because Bumblebee's leading. This is where Dilly gets turned. Oh, okay, so this is after that caution. So at this point, Snugs is trying to work his way back up through the field here because Kaufman is close to the front, if I'm not mistaken. And he's got to beat Kaufman head to head. So let's see how he starts out here after that initial wreck. Looks like you get up to speed good. Oof. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Talking of poor Harambe. Again, we're talking about kind of overdriving corners and lifting, you know. Good prediction here by Snugs to see that was coming.
Clear inside. All clear.
They all get loose. The 81 gets up into, is that me?
All clear.
That is me.
3 wide. 4 wide.
So they got bumped up in there. That's all right. That's all right. I could take that. It's across Albert. Oh, this was what was chaos. All right, hold on. Just a lot of chaos happening here. As you can see here on corner exit, after I get murdered,
3 wide.
murder of the commissions in broad daylight, you can see there's a gaggle of 3 wide cars. Is this Snugs? I think this might be, no, we're on board with Snugs. This is a yellow car. This Plastic down here, and you can see there's a movement. There's movement, and then that drops him to get away from that guy moving, and they shove Plastic down pit road. And you can see the car slow down real quick because he got a speeding penalty. So, yeah, that's Hot Lap Jimmy.
Stay high.
That pushes the 22 down pit road, unfortunately. Oh, that was Fat Randy. That was the car. See, it was a yellow car. It was Fat Randy that got kind of just, you know, a little loose off the wall. And then, of course, he gets cleared out by...
Clear high if you want it.
Is that the 24 car? Yeah, let's go take a look at that. Okay. On board the 24. First time he gets the lead all year long. Can he get this lap led? Listen, as long as the 24 at least got the lead a lap. Hellseeker fighting for position.
1 low. We lost the lead. Let's get it back. Inside now.
A rough corner there, and Bumblebee just comes up and absolutely cleans him out. And then, of course, he goes flying back up the track.
3 wide. 4 wide.
Oof. Yeah, gross at that point. Everybody goes flying through.
Clear low.
So this gets chaotic from here. We'll keep watching, stay on board with this 24 car. Just had a chance. There's a little bit of a bump there, and I don't... Again, back to, like, me and Shanzi, he sent me this, didn't think it was his fault. I didn't even realize that there was a car down there. I got another call, and then I was clear, and I was like, okay, like that's... I didn't even realize that he was there, so... This isn't anything that Shanzi did there. 24 gets really big out of the gas.
Inside.
I kind of hit him on the way by, not intentional. And then watch this. I get absolutely clobbered by somebody here.
Clear low if you want it. 1 bottom.
Just right hooked as that guy wrecks. I think it might have been Bumblebee who got me. So yeah, just chaos all around on this track right now. Not the prettiest. Let's go see. And kind of one of the big things at this point was the strategy call, right? As you see a car to the sideways in the grass. You know, due to the way the cautions fell and how many laps were left, this actually was a race that resulted in fuel saving. So a lot of cars that maybe, you know, that made decisions to pit or not pit, that led to a multitude of endings, kind of a chaotic finish. Not in that it was crazy fun, and we unfortunately don't have the leaders. We have Dilly's. Let's go watch Dilly's end to this race and see how it looked from his perspective, at least.
My bad.
I just did it.
Oh, sweet.
So Dilly here, he's got 5 to go. He's trying to save 4 laps worth of fuel. And I like that. I mean, obviously the race hasn't been the prettiest. And while I really appreciated that stage driving at the end of the first stage, I also don't mind when a race turns into a fuel saving strategy. So Dilly on his first race back ended up P2 on the final. You can see him P7 here. But of course, guys, I got a fuel. As we kind of click through here, he was debating pitting. He was like, can I make it? Nah, I just gotta go for it. So by this rate, you can see Killjoy way ahead at the end of the front stretch, 6 seconds ahead. He's just sputtering, trying to get it there. Shanzi, Frank, and Gamertag, those guys, I believe, pit. So an interesting finish there. Killjoy was able to, Nick was able to kind of, you benefit off of the fact that Snugs got caught up in some wrecks, some damage, and then a good fuel saving at the end of this race was enough for him to take home the win in the IST. So there were a lot of wrecks. I just want to say, as we go to Loudon, and then of course, like we try to reintroduce the draft tracks to this, I want to urge everybody to make sure you're doing those practice races. Be a part of the pickup tag. Show up and do some practice races. Practice some drafting, and do what you can for patience. I know it's tough. I know it's a console game. I know that half of us are on wheels, half of us are on controller, and it's just difficult to do that. I would just say, be a little honest with yourself, right? Like, I gotta look at myself for that initial wreck and be like, hey, I'm not showing up and racing a lot, this game a lot, and as a result, I came down on JTB Mad Cheeks when he did nothing wrong. Now, fortunately, he had he was able to recover. We had a decent day, but ultimately, I gotta do better at making sure I'm very much aware of what's going on, and aware everybody's around me, and I'll take ownership of that. Everybody else, we gotta be, ownership of not diving into corners way too fast and driving up. So, a good day for the boys, I think. I think we still have momentum, but I appreciate everybody that reached out to other people in the league and expressed accountability. I know, like, Hunwee mentioned Dents, or tagged Dents and told him, hey, I think it was a DM, just told him, hey, that's on me. I talked to JTB, Mad Cheeks, we cleaned that out, and Shanzi even sent me a message, said, hey man, I don't know if this was on me. So I appreciate the accountability. We'll just got to make sure that we're preemptive on our accountability instead of reactive, because there's a lot of racing. These tracks were supposed, this track was supposed to be fun. It kind of ended up a caution fest. Whereas you think back to like Worldwide Technology, which was, kind of a struggle to drive, but everybody raced so clean. So well done. There's your top 10. Killjoy, Dillytoon, Dinger Magic, Corey Russell. Gamer Tag was able to recover. Dense Fog also recovered. Shanzi, Hot Lab, Jimmy, Meatball, and then Warm Snuggles. A top 10 was not enough to win the IST, unfortunately, but solid nonetheless. Appreciate you guys watching. Catch you next time.